started. One second. Okay, everyone, welcome to U.S. Retail News. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the Trading Director at 10-Minute Trades. Please remember all the trades we discuss for educational purposes. It's possible to lose money trading futures. And I want to say good morning to everyone. I have my news off to the side because there's two reports this morning and there's just too much news. I may want to trade Canada and US retail at the same time. So I want to keep my chart tradable on Canada. So I've got Canada on my right chart, US retail on the left. Hey, Langford, I got your email about yesterday. So I'm assuming that you took the reversal. Is that correct? I didn't have a chance to look at your graphics yet. I'll look at it later anyway, but thank you. Okay, so retail, we have a trap trade that's been working nicely. And Canada, I don't have a lot of faith in the way Canada's been moving. Originally, we really thought that this report might be coming back. But before I say anything, let's look at February on Canada. And it was trading with retail in February also. So no, maybe I'm wrong. It had a move. The issue with Canada is very low liquidity, $5 a tick. So it did work. It did move nicely last month, choppily, but it moved. Okay, so and then retail. If I remember, did retail not fill? I think retail missed filling by a tick. Yeah, for us, it didn't fill. So where the trap trade is could depend very much on the order bracket that you choose. There's a range on the trap that you can choose, so it's always possible it might not fill. All right, so I think we'll get more activity on gold this morning. That I think we won't have to deal with something not filling. That's what I think. So like I said, there's a lot of news. You've got the retail, core retail and retail, and then you've got Canada core CPI. So a lot of news. I'll keep it off to the side. So Langford, from what you're saying, but I got stopped on it. So I didn't have the opportunity to stay in. So I'll look at your what you sent. I'm curious now. Okay, so it's interesting. I got here Right, I got here 1 minute, 1 minute before 7:40. 1 minute before 7:40, and I didn't have time. I was really thinking of putting a trade on for gold to test the high, and it went right up and tested the high 1 minute after I got here, which is really funny. And then the craziest thing was yesterday's API. We grabbed 3 ticks, and just as I'm closing the room, the news comes out. The news never came out. It was like 4.5, 5 minutes late. It's, it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I want to welcome everybody on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming and watching our stream. Give us a like if you want to. It'd be nice. Sign up for the channel. You'll know the next time we're streaming tomorrow. So I'm going to let's set up our Canada trade. We don't have to think about it. We'll just set it up and leave it. There's a lot to do today. Normally, I don't trade the oil open on inventory report day. Now, we've just started experimenting with the oil open. Years ago, the rule was don't trade the oil open on inventory day. It didn't work. I honestly don't know if that's going to be a rule going forward. We'll have to see. But there was a lot going on today anyway. So we were just doing our normal DNA trades. So let me get the DMM. Show everyone the DMM. And let me go to Canada Core CPI. Now the question is a 4-tick bracket safe in this market? That's the question. Is a 4-tick bracket safe in this market? Let's see if we can. Now, this market is not the same as the market was a month ago. It's really not. The market's more volatile. It was pretty volatile a month ago. Right now, it's quiet. Okay. Right now, Canada's quiet. It just tested the high at right when gold was testing the high. Canada was moving as well. So the trade setup, and I'm just thinking about the bracket, just feels a little small. Right now, the market's quiet. I'll probably, in my gut, the number 5 is there. Right now, I'm going to go with the DMM. So we got a 5 target and a 12 target. And that's about it. Really didn't move that much. Didn't move very much. It moved enough last month to have a trade, but not nearly the way it used to move years ago. Canada CPI used to be explosive. Used to be an explosive trade. Also, Canada years ago used to be $10 a tick. When a trade is $10 a tick, the profit capability is much better. So the entry is 829.59. And of course, we're going to label it so we can see the difference between our trades. So Canada, we're just looking for It's a breakout trade, a bracket of 4, one position for 5, one position for 12 ticks. A stop of 12, and the activation entry time is 8:29:59. That would be the trade. Set up a couple of things I'm thinking about. If I want to move my stop, if my first target is hit, because we're trading 2 trades at the same time. Good morning, Calvin. FOMC day for sure. Absolutely. So I do think that retail sales are going to be strong. Gold is almost flat. I'm joking. It's down more than $5, which, a couple of years ago, that was a lot. Today, that's flat. I say jokingly. Okay. Jokingly. And I just want to look at the video last month one more time. I want to look at a couple. So last month, Canada on the right. So we used a 4 bracket. It was, or maybe not. Let me think for a second. It was 55. I think we used the 6 bracket. So 60, 65, 70, yeah, or a 5 or a 6. We used a little bit bigger last month. It would have pulled you in on the right side last month, but that's no guarantee that it would always do that. And I want to look at the month before on Canada. That's interesting. The month before, gold was down $7. Whew. Look at that gold open that morning. That was something. So I'm watching the right chart for Canada, core CPI. What I'm curious about is entry time. So you see how Canada bursts up, but it's not the best liquidity because it fills you, more than halfway up the candle usually. So that's why you don't want to have very big targets on Canada. You won't hit them. And it does reverse. It bursts and pulls back. Now that day it didn't follow through. It burst up, pulled back. Last month. And what I'm looking at is if I want to move my stop automatically, if it hits the first target. If you do it, it's going to stop you at target 1 if it doesn't fill target 2. Most probably because it pops and then drops. At least that's the pattern that looks to be happening right now. We are trading 6C for Canada, Dutchie. 6C. 6C. If I have GC on, I'll change it. 6C for Canada. Yeah, 6C, 622 for Canada. Gold for US retail. So the only thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to do anything on Canada. I'm going to leave it alone. I may just increase the bracket to 5 at the last minute. And then US retail, our tiers for the trap trade are anywhere between 16 to 18 for the first tier. No, David, I didn't set it up yet. I'm doing it right now. Getting ready to do it right now. 16 to 18 is our first tier. And my second tier is 25 to 30. We didn't fill last month. I think there's going to be quite a bit more activity this month, quite a bit more movement. I really do. The only difference I make on the retail trap is I do the activation 5 seconds before the news comes out. I don't want to be on the chart 20 seconds before 8:30. In other words, the event starts at 8:30. My activation is 29:55. So it's 5 seconds before the news comes out because of the market volatility. Okay. So the trap trade. Now, look, there might also be a good gold open this morning. You can only do so many things. And I suppose someone could trade the gold open, trade US retail, trade Canada. You could do them all. But I guess I'm choosing not to trade the gold open today because I want to just be ready for US retail. Okay. I'm not saying there won't be a trade. The gold opens at 8:20, but I want to help everyone set up the trap. So the trap trade, you choose the trap trade version 3 if you've downloaded the recent version. Now, so let's start at the top. Price of the time stays price at the time. That's a default. Average price bars is a default. Position size is how many contracts. We're going to do 1 and 1. Position size 1 is a 1. Position size 2 is a 1. Stop loss position should say last fill price. It should not ever say average price. If it does, you change it. Stop, I always put in last. Okay, it's 18 today. I'll put it in last. So my tiers are going to be 16 and 28. That's my choice. You can choose 17 and 30. You could choose, if the reason that you might want to consider 30 is if there's more of a burst than expected, it gives you a little bit more room. It gives you a couple of extra ticks of volatility to survive because your stop is based on, the last order, the furthest away order. The time of the event is 8:30. It's an 8:30 news event. Trade time. So I'm using a newer software that I'm testing. Some people might say trade time of event. It's 8:30. Okay, 8:30. And activation time or preparation, seconds preparation, I'm just using 5 seconds. So what that means is 5 seconds before the news comes out, 5 seconds before 8:30, not necessarily before the news comes out. 5 seconds before 8:30, my orders go on the chart. Just taking a peek at the gold open. Taking a peek. Gold open seems quiet. I don't have my open setup running. Okay. Pushing down a little bit, the gold open. Okay, let's go back to the trap. So starting again from the top, price at the time, average price bars, those are defaults. Position size is 1. Position size 2 is a 1. Wait for spike is a default. Activation is order prep seconds. Activation is order prep seconds. We're changing it because it's the new version, it'll say activation. It's under trade time. Trade time is 8:30. Activation or order preparation seconds is a 5. Order preparation seconds is a 5. And then my stop is 18. Let me record this. So I want to thank everybody on YouTube. If a couple of you would give us a couple of likes up there, it'd be awesome. Sign up for the channel and also hit the notification bell so you know the next time we're streaming on YouTube. Sign up for the channel, hit notification, you'll know when we're streaming because we stream at least 3 to 4 times a week. So one more time from the top. Price at the time, average price bars are default. They don't change. Position 1 is a 1. Position size 2 is, it's whatever, how many contracts you want to trade. Wait for spike is 5. Stop loss should be last fill price. My stop loss is 18. And then break even is being removed. That's not supposed to be there anymore. That'll be gone. Tier 1, it's up to you. You have a range of 16 to 18. Tier 2, you have a range of 25 to 30 on your order size. The time the event takes place, trade time, time of event is 8:30. Activation time, order prep seconds. I put my orders on the chart. That's what it means. When are you putting your orders on the chart? How many seconds before the trade time or the time of the trade? So I'm putting my orders on 5 seconds before. And the stop is 18. And that's it. That sets up my trap trade. Choose your account, of course. And then my trap trade will be set up. Put my charts on. So what we're looking for with a trap trade is price to go one direction after the news comes out and then to change direction after we get filled. And I usually will give it at least a minute to a minute and a half to fill, unless if the news is unusual, it's all exactly as expected. But in truth, news results that are confused are normally better for the trap trade. Because what we don't want is a burst all in one direction. That's what we do not want. So I'm going to check my time sync by going to the website time.is, puts my computer in sync. Okay, so gold open had a good downward move this morning. Now, I'm not sure if there were signals this morning. Dutchy, no problem, man. Did anybody look at the gold open with signals or no? Okay, so I think retail sales are good. That's what I think. But what I think doesn't matter. What I want to see is a move in one direction and a move in the other direction. That's what I'd like to see. So I hope that gold doesn't test the low. That'll kill our trade if it goes straight down. That would not be good. It's pretty far away, but in these markets, $5 is not very far. Now, the only thing I'm tempted to do is I was thinking of adding a tick to our Canada bracket. It's a little bit tight. It's a little bit tight. Yeah, it's kind of quiet now. So see, that's one tick. Kind of committed, almost committed. So we're waiting. Gold has been choppy on reports, and that's what we want. We want choppy on reports. On this report, when you're using a trap, you want chop. Enough chop to fill you, obviously. So you have about 40 seconds. So what we don't want to see is a burst all in one direction. If you get a burst all in one direction, it'll stop out the trap trade. Now, Canada will probably take place first. So the bracket was safe with Canada. Now it chops around a lot and it's not getting to the price. So Canada, I don't want to spend time on Canada. So took a small Canada trade, very tiny. Gold filled. If it'll drop, it only filled one order, cancel the outer tier. And we need price to go up. It's not really working the way I want it to. Ah, filled one tier. I don't like the way gold's behaving, so I can get out or I could let it chop. I was holding my stop. I didn't place it down. I placed it down for 1 second. So small profit on retail, small profit on Canada. Just not the greatest, not the greatest reaction. It didn't fill both tiers. It just was chopping, chopping, chopping without a lot of conviction in either direction. That was hard. That was tough. That was tough. So we made a couple of bucks on Canada. We made a couple of bucks on retail. Retail, I could have, I was holding my stop, but it still hit me. When I say I was holding it, if you hold your stop and move it around, it won't always get hit. It's invisible on the chart. And I just let my mouse go for a second and it got my stop. So I suppose I could have been more patient and there'd be profit now. Okay. There'd be more profit now. That was just a strange kind of reaction. Strange kind of reaction, but patience, patience, patience. I never have enough patience because now you'd have a good little bracket, a good little trade. So we made about $80 on gold and about $30 on Canada. Not enough. Oh, and gold is just going wild now in the good direction. Good direction. Now, what's difficult is so looking at the news, retail sales were worse than expected, and that might be pushing gold up. That might be pushing gold up. Canada, it eventually followed through. It eventually followed through. Our initial fill was up in here, was up at 95. So it was up in here. So, we got out of Canada probably at the right time. The trap should have just let it sit. Should have just let it sit. Let's watch the move. Let's watch the video. Let's watch the video. Learn something from it. Bracket trade worked on NQ. You mean the old setup? What bracket trade? Because we don't use a bracket trade on retail, Calvin. So you've set up a bracket trade. Yeah, NQ. We did testing on NQ also, and NQ we were looking at a range trade on retail, but I just couldn't do everything at once. So this morning, it looks like, well, the NQ might have gone up first, though, Calvin. How big was your bracket? I would have had at least a 20 tick bracket if I was trading NQ on this. You use 20 live, Calvin? 20 live? Okay, good for you. So, unfortunately, my impatience, I could have had a much better trap trade, much better trap trade. So, let's look at the video real quick. Let me show you the video. I think retail, such a big report that I was very, very distracted by Canada. So next time, I'm not going to trade Canada at the same time. I just want to concentrate on US retail. Let me show you the video. Here we go. So our outer tier again was too big. So I think we have to shrink our tiers for US retail. If in this volatile market, we only get filled on one tier, um, then our tiers are too big. So we have to shrink them. So you could see Canada goes up, didn't, and it fills the first target of 5, and that was really it. Retail, so the news comes out, the news is good, and gold doesn't really go, it goes the wrong direction on good retail news, fills us, okay? And you could have gotten out right there. And I was thinking about it. See, I was thinking about it, and I just wanted to give the trade some time to breathe. And then look, it didn't fill the outer tier, didn't fill the outer tier. So you cancel outer tier. That's what the cancel button does. Cancel outer tier. So we're in the trade one long. It really looked like it was just heading down. It didn't look like it wanted to change direction. But I was trying to be patient right there, trying to increase the profit. And then I was holding my stop. See, that's holding the stop. It doesn't usually fill it if you do that. And then I said, I'm getting out, and I changed my mind. Getting out, I was changing my mind, and it hit me. So if I just would have left it, it would have been better to just leave it alone. It really wasn't that close to the stop. Okay. It really wasn't that close to the stop. There was no reason to be that worried about it. Honestly, I was way too worried about hitting the stop. Okay, and that cost me a better trade. And I think I'm a little gun shy as part of the problem. I'm definitely gun shy. So the trap was good. The trap was good. If you tried to be more patient than I was, it then goes up. Because remember, we were long, and that up gives you more profit. So it would have added at least 10, 15 more ticks of profit. Wouldn't have been that hard. Wouldn't have been that hard. Canada, if you got your first target and got out, that was probably the only thing you could have done on Canada. There just wasn't a lot there. If you didn't move your stop on Canada, no, it probably would have got you back in here. Probably would have got you back in here. So it looks like Canada would have been a one contract trade no matter what. Gold was good to the long side. Good to the long side on this trade. So patience, 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 patience is the virtue. That is the important thing to have. Because if you would have had patience, you'd be sitting in profit. You wouldn't even had to have gotten out yet if you didn't want to. Now, possibly on this candle here, you might have gotten out because you would have seen a lot of your profit going away. So it might have been hard to stay in 4 minutes after the trade. That might have been hard, but look how high it went. So probably would have gotten out somewhere around here had I been more patient. That would have been the better trade. Now, if people want to stick around, so I want to thank everybody on YouTube. Um, I want to thank everybody on YouTube. We're going to finish up our streaming. And if you'd like to join up with us, folks in the trade room, if you want to stick around, we can watch the gold open this morning, the oil open, and see if it has any move, even though it's inventory day. And I just want to thank everybody on YouTube. If you'd like to join up with us on YouTube, you can join our trade room, www.jointhetraderoom.com, www.jointhetraderoom.com. It's monthly, 97 bucks. It's a steal. You're welcome to come in. We'd love to have you. So on YouTube, that'd be nice if you came in with us. Everybody else, if you want to